Dear students, now we are going to learn the next lesson, environmental issues in botany. First we are going to deal with the greenhouse effect. What is this greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect is a process in which sun's radiation, heat from the sun, is captured by the gases in the atmosphere. This increases the temperature of the earth ultimately. The greenhouse gases are emitted by various human activities on earth. Burning of fossil fuel releases carbon dioxide and methane. By doing the agricultural activities, animal husbandry practices also releases certain amount of greenhouse gases. Using electrical gadgets like refrigerator, air conditioner releases chlorofluorocarbons. Usage of fertilizer in agriculture releases nitrous oxide, and the emissions from the automobiles include these greenhouse gases. So these greenhouse gases which are present in the atmosphere as pollutants will absorb the radiation which are reflected back to hit the earth's surface, by which it increases the earth atmospheric temperature. It causes re-radiation of the sun's radiation. On the earth's surface, all the radiations of the sun will hit and they have to escape into the space. Instead of escaping into the space, these greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrous oxide, etc. will absorb this radiation and reflect it back to the earth's surface, causing global warming. This increase in the global mean temperature over a long period of time due to the increased concentration of the greenhouse gases is called as global warming. So greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and a variety of chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons. What are the effects of global warming? Global warming affects the agricultural productivity. It increases the heat waves, water crisis, change the flowering season, and causes species extinction. So what are the strategies to reduce this greenhouse effect and global warming? First one, we have to increase the vegetation cover by growing more trees, which will absorb more amount of carbon dioxide and other pollutants from the atmospheric air. Secondly, we have to reduce the use of fossil fuel, that in turn will reduce the release of greenhouse gases. By developing alternate renewable sources of energy, by minimizing the usage of the nitrogenous fertilizers and aerosols. Next is ozone depletion. Ozone layer is present in the Earth's stratosphere. This absorbs the sun's ultraviolet radiation, and so this ozone layer will act as a protective shield which will prevent the penetration of ultraviolet radiation from the sun, by which it protects all the living organisms. It acts as a protective shield. It is a colorless gas that can readily react with the pollutants also. It is measured in Dobson unit. Dobson unit is a measurement for the total ozone layer. The false color view of the ozone layer represents the area where the ozone is more and where it is less. The region where on the globe is denoted by this purple or blue color, the ozone layer is the least. And the region where the red or the yellow color are present, the ozone layer is more. The ozone layer of the troposphere is called as bad ozone, and the ozone layer of the stratosphere is called as good ozone, because this good ozone only acts as a shield for absorbing this UV radiation, which are coming from the sun and that is harmful for the living organism. This ozone shield is being damaged by lot of chemicals or the pollutants which are released in the earth's surface, and this is notably the chlorofluorocarbons that are widely used in the refrigerators, aerosol and chemicals which are used as a cleaner in many industries. They are left in the atmospheric air as pollutants. This will decline. These pollutants will decline the thickness of the ozone layer over a restricted area, and that is called as ozone hole or ozone depletion, because this ozone can readily react with this air pollutants and changes its form. September 16 is observed as World Ozone Day. Presence and the absence of certain plants in the environment are considered as the indicators of the environmental degradation, and they are referred as biological indicators or phytoindicators. So lichens and ficus, pinus, rose are indicators of sulfur dioxide. Petunia, chrysanthemum are the indicators of nitrate. Gladiolus is the indicator of fluoride pollution, and Robinia pseudoacacia is the indicator of heavy metal contamination in the environment. What are the effects of ozone depletion? Ozone depletion causes cataract in human beings. Cataract is the eye disease, throat and the lung irritation, aggravation of asthma and emphysema, skin cancer. They diminish the functioning of the immune system. Ozone depletion causes juvenile mortality of animals because of the increased radiation, UV radiation. It increases the incidence of mutation among the living organism. In plants, the photosynthetic chemicals are affected and therefore photosynthesis is inhibited. Decrease in the photosynthesis causes increased atmospheric carbon dioxide, which in turn will result in the global warming and shortage of food, leading to food crisis. Increase in temperature causes climatic change, a change in the rainfall pattern, that in turn will result in the flood, drought, seawater rise, imbalance in the ecosystem affecting the flora and fauna of a place. Next topic is agro and social forestry. Agroforestry is growing forest along with farming or agriculture. It is an integration of trees, crops, livestock, that is cattle, on the same plot. It is called agroforestry. So agroforestry can improve the soil and water conservation. It will improve the nutrient cycle. It provides a balance in the atmospheric temperature and the humidity. Whereas social forestry refers to the management of the forest, already existing forest, making new forest or afforestation on the barren lands. This will help the social rural development. People who are in the rural areas can go and get their firewood and other benefits, fodder for their cattle, etc. from the social forest. What are the activities of social forestry? Social forestry do some activities to improve the afforestation. They give training on the tree growing methods to the people of rural areas. They help to raise and supply the seedlings on subsidy by distributing it in the low cost or without money. They form demonstration plots, and they will create awareness among the public regarding the tree growing. It also creates awareness among the school children and youth people about the importance of forest through the training and camp. These are the major activities of forestry extension centers. Deforestation and afforestation. Deforestation is the cutting down of trees and destroying the forest. Deforestation becomes the major cause for greenhouse effect and global warming. Deforestation is caused because of the conversion of the forest area into agricultural land and plantation. and we cut down trees and forest for raising livestock, for the timbers they provide, for industrialization, urbanization, and for the increased global need, we always destruct these forests. To overcome deforestation, afforestation has to be carried out. Afforestation is planting of trees where there was no previous tree coverage, and converting the non-forest area into forest by planting suitable trees to retrieve the vegetation. Increased forest cover will become a rehabilitation of degraded forest, mixed plantation, and awareness is created, monitoring and evaluation is done. What are the effects of deforestation? Burning of the forest would release more carbon, which gives a negative impact for the carbon sequestration. Trees and plants will bind the soil. By removing the forest causes soil erosion. It decreases soil fertility. It makes the area dry, leads to the formation of the desert. More amount of runoff water will increase the soil erosion, reduce the moisture and the humidity of the soil. It causes flash flooding. It causes alteration in the rain pattern. It triggers adverse climatic conditions. It alters the water cycle of the ecosystem. It decreases the biodiversity. Their habitats are disturbed. And the loss of livelihood of forest dwellers, people who live in the forest, they lose their living place. It increases the global warming because 1/3 of the total carbon dioxide emission is absorbed by the forest. Loss of life support resources like fuel, medicinal herbs and wild edible fruits are also lost because of deforestation. What are the objectives of afforestation? Afforestation will increase forest cover, increase the oxygen production and improves the air quality, rehabilitation of the degraded forest, raise bamboo plantation, mixed plantation for minor forests produce medicinal plants, regeneration of the indigenous herbs and shrubs. It creates the awareness, monitor and it evaluate the biodiversity and the ecosystem. It helps aid in the artificial regeneration of nature, increases the availability of water table groundwater, reduces the nitrogen leaching in the soil or the soil erosion, etc.